Browns, LSU Tigers against Wade Houston's Volunteers from the University of Tennessee. LSU, anytime you think about the Tigers, the name Chris Jackson comes up.
He makes the whole thing go, Marty. He's the stir in the drink. He's a guy who has played very well, a consensus All-American. He's been a little bit of a slump as of late, but got 33 against Tennessee in their Roberts.
As far as Tennessee is concerned, great firepower outside in junior Greg Bell and, of course, the freshman Allan Houston.
Oh, Allan Houston is one of the outstanding freshmen anywhere in the country. Got 34 against LSU in the first meeting, and he is a guy that's very difficult for them to play against. But I think that Greg...
It is, if anything, made this LSU ball club a better team. And we are underway as Rivers gets it here
last time. But Allan Houston is such a gifted offensive player that it will be very difficult for LSU to match up regardless of who they play on him.
It's the first of a two-shot situation. 34 big ones he knocked in against LSU last month. Battle of the boards, one inside by Shaquille O'Neal. And a look-away pass to Singleton from Chris Jackson.
Great pass. You could see it. Here we see the pass, the look away. You could see it over the last two dribbles being developed, and Singleton heads up.
Jump back in front by 2.
Well, we talked with Wade early, and he seems to feel that you have to stretch out LSU. You've got to play them the way you play the opportunity.
Jackson lets fly for 3. Yes, sir. So long-range shooting goes to Rivers.
Well, Sims and Singleton are not getting to the backboard, and O'Neal can't do the whole thing by himself.
That's Houston for 3.
Pulled off the press. They're going to try to cinch up half court, man to man.
19-16 Tennessee. Jackson weaves his way through traffic. He's got 5, and it's a one-point ball game. Too long. The rebound by Jackson. Greg Bell back on defense. Jackson says, let's try for 3, and he knocks another one in.
Does he put pressure on you or what? Everybody thinking he's going to take it to the back.
5 remaining in the first half. It is an offensive game with a capital O.
Well, you just can't lose.
Tennessee and LSU all tied up at 21 apiece. Puts his move on Ron Taylor, fresh off the Tennessee bench. The fadeaway jump shot. Boy, what a touch this kid has.
Oh, he's playing well.
21. Just under 14 minutes to go in the first half. Houston fakes right, goes left, pulls up in traffic. Yes, and he's fouled. Well, we talked at the top about the importance of big days for Greg Bell and Allan Houston, and boy, they're having a great start.
Well, Singleton gets on the side, and once you get on the side of a guy that's your size or bigger, that's as quick and as skilled as Houston, there's nothing you can do but to let him go or foul him. You've got to get in position, and of course, there has to be some rotation from inside to look for a charge or at least to block the shot.
Houston shooting and getting his 10th point. Again, we evolve. Carlos Groves has it knocked away by Maurice Williamson. He finally recovers, throws it up ahead to Chris Jackson. Baseline drive, stops, pops, good.
Hard to believe that guy can score the way he does, but to finish the story.
On the free throw line, best in the SEC at 91.3%. Third best.
When he drives it on you and he can lean, I think you just have to give him the 3 and play position defense on him.
16 first half points. Count them. 16 for Allan Houston.
Solid with these guys. He makes his move. Bell's got to just set in there, get position, not reach or grab. They're not doing that, and they're sticking them on the free throw line.
That's a 14th point for Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson is emotionally involved, which he was not the other night, and that spells trouble for the Volunteers.
This is a copyright presentation, and any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions is prohibited. Jackson will have one more coming. He's now 4 for 5 from the free throw line.
Yeah, we got a faulty alignment at the free throw line, but
Houston fakes the 3, gets closer, rejected by Roberts, and picked up by Jackson.
Got the numbers.
Shovels it off to Boudreaux. What a pass by Jackson.
Great play. Had the numbers.
And picked off by Jackson again. He seems to be everywhere. There is a loose ball for 3. Hello.
Oh. Houston may have, I think he's got to make sure now this thing doesn't.
Houston shooting 2, and the first is good. Ronnie Reese, by the way, is checked back in for Tennessee along with Ian Lockhart. That 17.2 point per game average has, here in the first half, already been exceeded by Allan Houston.
Great
comes for LSU as Steve Rivers and Burnell Singleton sit down. And Jackson back to the free throw line where he's missed it one time and got the roll that time. He's now 6 for 7 from the line and 21 first-half points. Well, we alluded at the top of the telecast, you did, Bob, to the fact that Jackson had but 9 points, a career low his last time out against Auburn. Not so today.
Oh, he's on fire. You have to keep those guys from getting the ball as opposed to trying to guard them once they get it.
I would imagine in some cases playing against great talent like a Chris Jackson, as we talk about Allan Houston, maybe causes one to rise to another level because he's putting on a show again today as he did in Baton Rouge.
You're worth your school.
Well, Allan Houston and Chris Jackson have played the modern era brand of basketball here in the first half. They've been unconscious almost, and let's take a look first at Allan Houston.
Well, we talked, early on. This is one of the truly great newcomers in the country. He can do it from 3. He can lean to the basket. He can score inside. He ends up with 20. He got those early. Struggled a little bit late, but, great player. And on the other end, everybody's All-American. Chris Jackson, 9 points in his last outing. Great players rise to the occasion. They never look back. They never worry about what happened before.
Well, all they've done in the first half, Jackson has scored 22 and has done it relatively in a quiet manner. And Houston has thrown in 20 points. Very gifted athlete.
Well, not only are they...
The first 2 minutes of the second half of any game is so vitally important, and underscore that as far as Tennessee is concerned. And Jackson just hit one from 3-point range.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he's really struggling for him right now.
Big steal by Houston. He's got Rivers up ahead, broken up by Jackson. Bell picks it up and lays it in.
Jackson played it well. He just didn't come up with the ball.
Just like that, the ball's flying back. Oh, we've seen Tennessee make 2 runs. One in the first half to tie it up after being 8 down. Now they come back to tie this one up, and every time they do it, LSU goes on a roll. That, of course, another 3-pointer by Chris Jackson. He's got 28.
Tennessee just doesn't quite have the answer to get over the hump.
Houston answers for 3. 23 points for pressure. Just when you think LSU might start to open up some big-time daylight, here comes Tennessee again, but more often than not, Chris Jackson answers.
I keep saying this, but Bell needs to get up into him and make him drive the basket and look for help.
Houston continues to throw it up, and right now has gone cold from outside. 72-66, nope. Another 3, and good again.
Need a timeout badly.
For 6'1" guard Chris Jackson as he pours in one of his 4 second-half 3-pointers. LSU leads by 9.
Short. Once again, we see the triangle. The problem with the triangle is when you've got Roberts on the block, the guy's got to stay down with him.
8 3-pointers today for Chris Jackson. 30.
You're playing against a team that comes at you in so many ways. You got Jackson shooting it out of the corner. You got O'Neal chasing it down. Robert.
Jackson on the move against Greg Bell. Gets it right back. Turns a quarter on the baseline. Pulls up. What a touch.
Hey,
what a touch.
I'm going to tell you something. You have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, you got that right. As he walks it up and out of the backcourt. This obviously a big game for LSU as Jackson rings it up, his 9th 3-pointer.
Quiet crowd. I can understand that.
92-74. That equals a career high for Jackson as Houston throws in a 3. This would be for LSU. Consider the fact that this is the first of 5 out of the next 6 on the road in the Southeastern Conference, and that's a career high.
Well,
10 of them.
LSU at Kentucky at basketball.
Right. Houston with a hanger from the lane. So Allan Houston back to the line where he has been nothing less than perfect today. 8 for 8. Adding to what has already been a good 78.3% number from the free throw line on the year. One of the few misses that Chris Jackson has had here in the second half.
And that looked in.
Sure did. Houston for 3. Yes, sir. He's had 5 3-pointers. Wade Houston's club. Allan Houston with a basketball. Shooting for the 3. Looks good in it.
Unreal.
That's 35 for
Allan. Is much bigger.
Houston Now is Jackson on the free throw line. In case you're wondering, Chris Jackson's career high as a member of the LSU Tiger team, 55. He had 55-point game last year. He's had 51 as his seasonal high this year, and he now has scored 47. But neither really has Tennessee this season. 110-99, 2:20 to go. Here's Houston from 15.
Look up, look up.
39 points for Allan Houston. A Steve Rivers steal for the Volunteers. Houston tries to do it again. Fading, shooting, hitting.
The guy is the time. That would have been a big turnover.
Jackson, just about like money in the bank from the free throw line, has had one miss today in 11 attempts. Looking for his 49th point as Lang Wiseman comes in replacing Steve Rivers.
Well, they've got the big guys now in for LSU to handle the backboard, and also they can use those big guys to release pressure against the press.
20, 19, 18 seconds remaining. Houston on the drive, stops, throws it up, got it.
Got away with the arm.
He sure did.
That's the last time out.
That's all she wrote. Indeed, as far as knocking off Tennessee, 119-113. It was a shootout, Bob.
Too much Chris Jackson, too much board play for LSU, but you got to give them a lot of credit. Tennessee hung tough. Wade, you